Wouldn't it be amazing if you could hold an actual piece of history in your hands? Time capsules are a great way to preserve artifacts from a bygone era in the hopes of finding a new audience in the modern world. Let's travel back in time and check out the 10 most amazing time capsules in the world. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Watch till the end because our number one pick is considered the largest time capsule on the planet. Let's go back to the future. Number 10. The Crypt of Civilization. It may sound like the title of a John Grisham novel, but The Crypt of Civilization is definitely not a work of fiction. Hiding in the basement of OGLETHORPE University north of Atlanta is this subterranean chamber that aims to be a snapshot of 1930s America. At least, that was the goal of historian Thornwell Jacobs when he built this 2,000 cubic foot time capsule, which he filled with artifacts ranging from historical manuscripts to ordinary items like typewriters, radios, and mannequins. He also threw in some microfilm of classic literature pieces and religious texts for good measure, along with voice recordings of world leaders and other prominent personalities, before the crypt was welded shut on May 25, 1940. So, when will the chamber be unsealed? Good luck seeing the contents of this time capsule within your lifetime, because Jacob set the date of the reopening on the year 8113. Yes, we're not even halfway there. Stay tuned because you won't have to wait a millennium to unravel the mysteries of our number one entry. It's opening sooner than you think. Number 9. Steve Jobs time capsule. This one almost didn't see the light of day, but thanks to a TV show, the time capsule was finally unearthed. The 13-foot-long time tube was completed during the 1983 International Design Conference in Aspen, Colorado. Attendees of the event contributed items like a Rubik's Cube, name tags, and a Moody Blues album. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, who spoke at the conference, also pitched in and contributed the mouse to his Lisa computer. Since then, it was known as the Steve Jobs time capsule. The supersized canister was to be excavated in the year 2000, but because of a re-landscaping of the area, the organizers couldn't identify the exact spot it was buried in. The tube remained hidden for 30 years until a crew from National Geographic show Diggers found it in 2013. Aside from the coveted Steve Jobs mouse, the crew was happy to see a surprise inside the tube. A six-pack of beer! Turns out the conference president included it because he knew the diggers would be sweaty and would appreciate a beer. Ale in a day's work. Number 8. Oldest American time capsule. In 2014, an engineering firm was surveying the Massachusetts State House with a ground radar for a construction project when they stumbled upon a metal container buried within the building's cornerstone. Turns out the 10-pound box was planted in 1795 by then-Governor Samuel Adams and his fellow Revolutionary-era patriot and silversmith, Paul Revere. The brass box, considered as the oldest known American time capsule, contained newspapers from the late 18th century, a silver plate, a copper medal, and some coins, including a rare 1652 pine tree shilling. It was reportedly first opened in 1855 and was reburied with a few additional items. In 2015, the items were tucked back into the container together with our present-day objects, and it was returned inside the cornerstone, where it will sit until a future generation rediscovers its throwback treasures. Number 7. Old school methods. In 2015, while the Barr Treatment Center in Indianapolis was being demolished to make way for commercial development in the area, workers dug up this pod that was buried on July 23, 1958. It contained video clips of the mental facility and a message for the future psychiatrist from 2 of the mental facility's officials. The doctors in the video wondered about future treatments for mental conditions. They also mentioned the use of electroshock therapy and insulin coma therapy, which was a rather dangerous treatment for patients with schizophrenia, as it involved inducing comas with large doses of insulin. Thankfully, this crazy method was discredited in the late 1950s. Too bad the audio got cut off when they speculated about the future of psychiatry. Now their predictions are buried in the past and we'll never know if they indeed got it right. Number 6. MIT's Time Glass. In 1957, the MIT, or Massachusetts Institute of Technology president, James Killian Jr., together with electrical engineering professor Harold Edgerton, commemorated the opening of a new laboratory by creating an airtight glass cylinder and filling it with documents and mementos describing the state of MIT's science and technology at the time. The time capsule was recovered in 2015, and although the note says that it is not to be opened until the year 2957, or 1,000 years after it was buried, one can see its contents through the glass. A letter from President Killian, a mug, a tonic bottle, newly minted coins from the First National Bank of Boston, and synthetic penicillin. To protect the memorabilia, the cylinder was filled with argon gas and sealed with blowtorches. A carbon-14 sample was also placed to allow carbon dating in case the glass cracks and documents are destroyed. Here's to hoping the glass survives through 2957. Number 5. Parisian Apartment. A French woman named Solange inherited this Parisian apartment from her grandmother, Marthe de Florian, but was forced to abandon it in 1942 during the Second World War. She moved to the south of France and lived a quiet existence until she died in 2010. When she passed away, her family discovered the apartment, which had been abandoned for 70 years. Investigators found the 1,500 square foot apartment in mint condition, as if the place was frozen in time. They found books, newspapers, golden drapes, and a fancy dresser with hairbrushes and perfumes that harkened back to the early 20th century and reflected Marthe de Florian's lavish lifestyle as a socialite and theater actress. Among the greatest treasures found in the apartment was a never-before-seen portrait of Marthe de Florian painted by none other than revered Italian artist Giovanni Boldini. The painting was later sold at an auction where it fetched a cool €3 million, or roughly $3.5 million. Number 4. The Westinghouse Capsules. The Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company created 2 time capsules in 1939 and 1965, and they were built with materials designed to resist corrosion for over 5,000 years, which is necessary because the items are only intended for viewing in the year 6900. The bullet-shaped pods were stuffed with contemporary articles from the 20th century, including fabrics, metals, literature, and a microfilm which holds over 10 million words and 1,000 photos. Seeds of wheat, corn, oats, tobacco, and other crops were also placed in sealed glass vials. Let's hope the people, or creatures, of the 70th century find these things useful. Number 3. Musical time capsules. In December of 2007, audiophiles all over the world were astonished at the discovery of a 100-year-old time capsule in the sub-basement of the Paris Opera. It was buried in 1907 by a group of men led by Alfred Clark, the head of the gramophone company. 24 wax records of opera arias and instrumental pieces were carefully wrapped and sealed inside containers and locked within a storage room. In 1912, French authorities predicted changes in music technology, so they added a gramophone to the trove, along with instructions and a set of spare needles. Unfortunately, when the storage room was opened in 1989, they discovered that the gramophone was missing. But the tables have turned thanks to modern technology. 100 years later, the records were cleaned, digitized, and released as a full-fledged record. Here's a sample. Now that's music to our ears. Number 2. Digital Anthropology. In 2006, internet company Yahoo created a digital time capsule where they asked users to contribute what they thought would represent the thoughts and feelings of the world during that year. They received more than 170,000 submissions of text, audio, images, and videos, and the digital collection was set to be revealed at Yahoo's 25th birthday in 2020. But before the deadline, the company wanted to beam some of the featured files into space in an attempt to communicate with extraterrestrial life. So, in October of 2006, in an event that spanned 3 days and 18 hours at the Amuse Pueblo in New Mexico, Yahoo projected the giant digital images against an ancient red rock cliff. As we all know, the company's glory days have long gone, so the media assumed that the time capsule would remain buried in the digital universe. But in March 2020, Yahoo Inc. reopened its time capsule during a company-wide meeting. Perhaps they wanted to reminisce the golden age of Yahoo before Google took the internet by storm and rendered them obscure. Before we go to our number one pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1, world's largest time capsule. Nebraskan furniture store owner Harold Davison wanted his grandchildren to have unique memorabilia of him. So, on the 4th of July in 1975, he built his legacy through a massive time capsule containing thousands of items including letters, tapes, fireworks, bowling pins, bikini bottoms, and even a Kawasaki motorcycle. 2 years later, the Guinness Book of World Records certified it as the world's largest time capsule. But the OGLETHORPE University contested the Guinness Declaration, saying their Crypt of Civilization was bigger. Not to be outdone, Davison built a second capsule on top of the first one, this time in the shape of a concrete pyramid. They are slated to open 50 years after their burial, so that's in 2025, just a couple of years from now. I can't wait! So, have you ever buried your own time capsule? Let us know all about it in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Want more blast from the past? Then don't miss our ranking of the 15 most incredible recent discoveries. Till then, stay timeless, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.